have its roots in this process, where we see the newly cast sword removed from a stone mold. Cooling the metal by quenching it in water also makes it harder and ready for action. The sword, unlike the spear or arrow, is a close-range weapon. That's what makes it so special, so personal, and so terrible. In much of Northern Europe, the tribal system of fighting put great emphasis on individual bravery, but tactics and a coordinated approach to a battle was seldom adopted. But whatever system of fighting was used, there were still problems with swords. Bronze, though tougher than copper, could still deform in the intensity of a fight. It took hundreds of years for new materials, knowledge and skill to cross the continent. With the discovery and exploitation of iron in 1500 BC in Central Asia, warriors had a harder material with which to make their weapons. The sword was still evolving along with metallurgy. Iron is much more abundant than copper and more widely distributed across the world. It could be forged into much sharper and more lethal weapons. Swords became longer and heavier, but few remain from the early Iron period because they're prone to rust. Here's a rare example made in Western Europe. It shows a high level of decoration and may have been made as a gift for a tribal chief. Sword makers were highly regarded. Smiths who made instruments meant to take life and who transformed raw material seemed to have power over nature.
So if you manipulated the four elements of earth, air, fire and water, you were empowered by the gods to manipulate a fifth element, magic.
A swordsmith often worked in a forge whose entrance was shaped in a spiral to keep the light out. The colors of orange, red and white would be read by the sword maker like a special code.
The blacksmith would work from these colors, and he would work so that nobody could see what he was doing because he would be blocking it out. The only person that would have these secrets would be his son or his apprentice, and they would be passed on and jealously guarded.
Swords were thought to have spiritual powers beyond their earthly use, and even went on to the afterlife. They were often buried with their owners in special places.
There are many examples of Celtic graves where the warriors are dug up with their blades folded so that they can't be used, but if in the other world they needed them, the warriors could always unbend them. The sword was bent so that a mere mortal couldn't use it.
The Celts invoked the power of lake goddesses to assist them in battle by giving up their swords as sacrificial offerings. When the Romans invaded Britain in 43 AD, they didn't underestimate the influence of the spirit world on their enemy. The strength and power of iron was exploited by the Romans more successfully than any other civilization. The Romans used new ideas and technologies to such advantage that they dominated the known world for centuries.
The real essence of Roman success was discipline and collective skills. I mean, the Roman legionary fought as part of a team. He fought as part of a team which was well organized in tactical terms, and had also got great logistic backup. I mean, he was a soldier rather than an individual warrior.
And around the middle of the 1st century AD, the Romans